The Atlas Post, Trump signs an executive order for $400 weekly unemployment, and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says the new federal jobless aid will be available from states within 2 weeks. This past weekend, President Trump signed an executive order as the House and Senate were still in a stalemate on stimulus packages for Americans. But now what we're talking about is the federal unemployment coming. This is on top of your regular unemployment from your state. So Trump is creating the new federal unemployment benefit by redirecting up to $44 billion in disaster relief from FEMA, which is the Federal Emergency Management Agency for the states to redistribute. FEMA funds would provide $300 in additional weekly benefits, and states would be responsible for the additional $100, bringing the total to $400 per week. Now this sounds great, but this compares to the $600 per week the unemployed were receiving just last month, or actually the end of July, and that's about a third lower than what they received just a couple weeks ago. So for people on the edge, $100 a week could make a difference, but this is already $200 per week less, or $800 a month less than they were receiving in the end of July. So if you make it an unemployed couple, you're talking about $1,600 less per month. We didn't even get to the people that still haven't been able to get on unemployment. Add to this, on Sunday, according to CNN Politics, the Department of Labor offered another option. States can count their existing weekly unemployment payments as their cost share requirement. Now, of course, the governors are all up in arms about this because, well, let's just say the Labor Department guidance said that the states could count existing benefits towards their $100 contribution, essentially leaving the benefit at $300, or opt to use leftover coronavirus relief funds, many of which have already been obligated. Then, according to Governor Cuomo from New York, President Trump announced some executive orders, and are you ready for this? The executive orders will not be a substitute for legislation. Just by law, you're not going to be able to do what you have to do by executive order. The concept of saying to states you pay 25% of the unemployment insurance is just laughable. The whole issue here was getting states funding, state and local funding. And you can't say to states who have no funding, you have to pay 25% of the unemployment insurance cost. And of course, this is from Governor Cuomo himself from their transcripts. And California Governor Gavin Newsom basically says this would cause an enormous economic strife and enormous stress, because in California our coffers are already tapped, and he says it'll spell disaster for the state. Also in this part, I think Mnuchin was talking with the Department of Labor, because according to The Hill, Mnuchin has said earlier today that the states wouldn't need to come up with additional funds for the unemployment program because they could use money from the CARES Act. So if you count that versus the other one, here's the question, which remains: how much aid will the unemployed receive? Because before they were receiving $600 a week extra, and now they would be receiving $400, or is it $300? Because this actually makes up a big difference, because if you look at regular unemployment in some states, I remember reading in some states like Oklahoma, they were only getting $100 a week on unemployment, which is hardly anything. Even in California, I think regular unemployment is $450 a week? It's like in California? Yes, right. We're supposed to live on that? Anyway, the question remains, okay, how much aid will the unemployed receive? And that's a good question, because it could be $400 or $300 of federal unemployment added on to state unemployment, but it looks right now like it's a state-by-state issue. The good part, though, is according to Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, this could be available within 2 weeks. And other details I've seen, he said 1 to 2 weeks. So cross your fingers. We will find out more soon, but we will update you just as soon as we know more. And thanks for joining us at the Atlas Post. Share this with a friend or someone it can help. And if you find this helpful, please like our video, make comments, check out our playlist, and subscribe for the latest updates. Thanks for supporting our channel, the Atlas Post, on Patreon, as well as Buy Me a Coffee. Tap into your news with the Atlas Post, and have a joyful day.